there's lots of discussion about should you become president in 2027, you're deputy, obviously, you're in the pole position. You're quickly going to dump the reformists. You're going to get together with MK and EFF, and you're going to have a new constitution or a new government and get rid of the constitution, which is MK's intention. How do you view those kind of criticisms?
Well, Alec is putting me in trouble because I was told that I must not talk about this issue of who will be president. Let me put it this way. Yes, I've heard stories that, I'm more inclined to work with the EFF and MKP. But you see, what many people don't know is that in our effort to set up the current GNU, I'm one of the leaders of the ANC that made sure that we set up the GNU. I'm one of the leaders of the ANC today who has the responsibility to make sure that the GNU works. As you know, I chair the clearinghouse, and in the clearinghouse we have our own fights, and I'm sure Ms. Helen Zille will tell you that. But the idea is to have this engagement because we want to continue to build. There is no intention that, going into the future, there will be a different direction we will take. Many people don't even know that, in fact, before the GNU was set up, we engaged with the EFF, we engaged with MKP. In fact, the present position was that meet all parties. So those who are not in the GNU are those who chose not to come in. And we said to them, the day you choose to come in, let us know, but these are the rules. We've got a statement of intent that we follow. One of them is, firstly, respect for the Constitution. We're all going to work on that basis. Respect for the rule of law. Priority, economic growth, which is inclusive growth. Deal with issues of poverty, high cost of living, capable state. So the rules are there. So those who come in must play by the rules. We're not going to change the rules that work for South Africa.
Okay, so let's get to some of the questions. Neil de Beer, you know Neil. He says, Mr. Deputy President, there are huge words on fighting corruption every day. And thank you, you covered it again today. How do you and so many who are accused of corruption truly clear your names so we can all trust you?
Thank you very much. In fact, I was at the ANC Integrity Commission and they asked me the same question. You see, when you have allegation in the newspapers, you respond, but sometimes they don't cover your response in the very enthusiastic manner in which they reported their allegations. Very difficult thing. In fact, you are lucky if they cover you at all, because that doesn't make news. But one of the mechanisms, in fact, the Integrity Commission said to me they want me to develop a paper that we will take to the NEC to deal with these questions. And what I did is to write to Parliament. So in Parliament, we've got what we call the Ethics Committee. You write to Parliament and say, there are these allegations, this is my response to them, and Parliament then decides. So we're encouraging all MPs, ministers to do the same. When the allegations, your first port of call is Parliament. You can deal with issues in your party, but Parliament is more important, the Ethics Committee. If the Ethics Committee says, we've heard you, but you are in the wrong, then you are in the wrong. So it's important to go to the Ethics Committee. And in my case, that's what I do. When there are allegations, go to Parliament and explain and put the facts on the table.
Why are there these allegations? What is driving it from your perspective? Because it must be making life more difficult at a time when we need to have economic growth as the prime focus.
Yes, leaders can't assume that at all times they will not be attacked for whatever reasons. If it's not corruptions, sometimes they'll say, well, you are a weak leader, or you are a new liberal, you are a radical. There'll always be attacks on leaders. The ability of leadership is to focus on what is good for the country, what is good for the people. Focus on the work. That's what I do. I don't focus on side issues. I focus on what needs to be done. In this country at the moment, what needs to be done is to fix the economy. Get the economy working, get people into jobs, sort out Transnet, PRASA, the roads, and let's get South Africa to work. Let's focus.
Well, certainly Eskom is on the right direction. Transnet, I guess, it's still work in progress. But what about Gauteng? You are always brought into the discussions on Gauteng. Alex Mafia, blah, blah, blah. Give us your side.
Well, I grew up in Alex, and in 1982, I was at Alexander High School, where we started the Congress of South African Students. But in 1983, I became the president of the Alexander Youth Congress. And the people who are referred to as Alex Mafia in the main are people I worked with in the Alexander Youth Congress. Many of them, I went with them to prison. We came back, and we are the group that actually built Gauteng. As you know, I was an MEC in Gauteng of 5 departments during the 15 years I spent there. I became the premier, became the chairman of the ANC after being secretary for 7 years. So it's my territory. There'll never be talk about Gauteng without mentioning my name, because that's where I cut my political leadership.